Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I am reviewing Smart Water. Smart Water has a whole lineup of lies. This one in particular gets my goat the most because it's part of my expertise. So I'm actually really thankful for it. This is Smart Water Antioxidant. You can see that there. So Smart Water tells everybody with their label that it's an antioxidant. Now, lucky for me, I actually have a REDOX meter. So this is a scientific machine. It's not made by the same company that my ionizer is made by. This I had to order separately from American Marina. And what it does is it measures antioxidant versus oxidant. So a lot of us kind of try to get antioxidants. You know, we hear about dark chocolate being an antioxidant and red wine being an antioxidant and those weird, gross looking green smoothies is an antioxidant. But a lot of these people, when I say, well, that's good that you're getting antioxidants, what's an oxidant? If we have an anti, we must have an oxidant. What is it? Now, a lot of our health gurus do not explain to us what an antioxidant is. They just explain that we need more oxidants. So I'm here to explain what an antioxidant is and what an oxidant is. So I'm just fiddling with my little wand here because I'm getting ready to test to see if this is an antioxidant water. So very simply, and I'll try not to get too nerdy on you, we have a cellular system. Now going back into high school, science, which is basically where I left off with science outside of understanding ERW. So don't yell at me if I say it wrong. But we have a cellular system. And I think a lot of us remember, geez, why don't I keep pens around here, eh? You'd think that would be a good plan for a nerd. We remember that the cell in the center, like you remember, and then it had the nucleus in the middle and the cell all around it. And then it had those orbital shapes around it. And it had those four little dots, and those were electrons. So it had electrons circling the cell and the nucleus were all in there, all nice and tight, doing what they were supposed to do. Now, what they didn't tell us was in those orbits, those electrons were very important. And if a cell was missing an electron, that was what we would now know as a free radical. Free radical is just an unbalanced cell. They've got 7 instead of 8. But the problem is they're little bullies. So when you get a free radical in your cellular system, which we all have them, I have them, you have them, don't panic. But when we get a free radical in our cellular system, what they do, they go to other cells that have all of their electrons and they start fights and they try to steal the electron, right? Because nature loves balance. So instead of having 7 electrons, which is unbalanced for that free radical, they want to steal an electron from another healthy cell to balance themselves to 8, right? So what happens? Now, when those two cells are fighting, the electron's going over here, right? Like they're struggling for that electron. They're both at that point vulnerable to mutation. Because they're both vulnerable, because they're both unstable at that point, because that's what fighting does, is it makes two sides unstable. So one's going to win, one's going to steal the electron, and then go about and live a long, happy cellular life, and the other one is going to become a free radical and a bully. And now maybe it was the healthy cell, now his electron's over with that guy, and he's going to go around and start fights in the cellular system until he finds an electron to steal. Then he's going to steal it, run off with the electron, and create another free radical. So when you're missing an electron, it's kind of like never playing catch up and never catching up. Always with a missing electron, there's going to be a free radical because everybody needs 8. Apparently that's the magic number for electrons, right? So now what is an antioxidant? An antioxidant lends electrons to your cellular system. So you're adding more electrons. So instead of having all these fights in your cellular system, You're going to drink water or eat food that is an antioxidant that's actually going to lend electrons to free radicals and create peace. That's the long and short of it. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm sorry, I'm not catching up on the comments, but I will when I'm done with this whole thing, because it's a lot. So what are we going to do? We are going to use an ORP meter, and we're going to test if this water is an electron donor, if it's an antioxidant, if it's going to donate electrons to our cellular system to reduce free radicals. So we're going to test this one. Now, the shame of it all, before I became Marie the water nerd, because I didn't come out talking water, I became me. Now, before I became Marie the water nerd, my dogs are about to bark, I used to actually drink this water. I used to actually drink smart water. I don't know why. I guess I thought it was smart or something. Now that I'm Marie the water nerd, I wouldn't drink this if they actually paid me, let alone me pay them to drink it. But we're going to test it, and I'll show you why. Now, this is fresh poured Kangen. This is an actual antioxidant. Its scientific name is ERW, electro-reduced water. I've had a number of videos to show you how I make it, but essentially what we're doing to make this is we're cleaning tap water and we're zapping it with electricity. It's known in the scientific world as electrodialysis. So what'll happen in the machine is it'll actually split the water, and you'll make two different types of water out of one, your tap water. The good water comes out of the top of the machine, and the cleaning water comes out the bottom. So I only drink this. So we're going to see which one is an antioxidant. What should I do first? Tell me in the comments. Should I do smart water first, or should I do Kangen first? Anybody here drink smart water? Don't be shy. I used to. I get it. Okay, so let's go smart water. The infamous antioxidant water. Oh, let's turn this on. That'd probably be a really good way to get a reading. Okay, so when this is a positive, it means it's positive for oxidation. Oxidative stress, oxidative damage, free radicals, that whole thing. That's all oxidant, okay? So when it's a positive, it's positive as an oxidant. Therefore, you would need, if you drink this, it's an oxidant. So therefore, you would need to balance your food intake or some other way for your nutritional to get more antioxidants, because this is a powerful oxidant. Now, if you switched to Kangen or ERW, I prefer to call it that, or electric water, sounds fancy, then what you're going to do when you switch to Kangen, you're going to not only remove an oxidant from your daily life, because you don't live without this stuff, you're going to remove an oxidant and you're going to add an antioxidant. So you see that negative there? That is pure science here, measuring the electron donor capability of this water. Now, what are we up to? Like 500? I need to be able to invert this. So that's going to hit 600, no problem. Negative 600, right? So that means that this water is going to lend electrons to your cellular system and help balance that free radical and that reactive oxygen damage that's happening. Now, don't think that only sick people should do this. Healthy people should be drinking this. Everybody, every kid over the age of a year, every person under the age of 150, everybody should be drinking antioxidant water. Because if you're not drinking antioxidant water, you're drinking oxidative water. Let's go back to smart water for the people that are just joining us and watch that drop. So we're going to watch that drop right back into the positive, meaning that smart water is lying. They are liars, liars, pants on fire. They are Coca-Cola. They are consistently either number 1 or number 2 behind Pepsi as the biggest plastic polluter on the planet. And it's not an antioxidant. Now, the other thing, 3H2O, I don't know about that. I would have to do some looking into that. It's not so much, it's still H2O, but it has hydrogen ion. So more hydrogen gas. When we first pour it, it has active molecular hydrogen. And if you want to go to PubMed or like NCBI and have a look at the medical and the clinical studies and data on hydrogen, you'll see why this is so cool. But I'm not sure about that 3H2O. I don't think so. Voss, I'll get a bottle of Voss. I'm doing this every day. It's kind of a challenge with a friend of mine that he says I don't do enough. So here I am doing it. So I will get a bottle of Voss. I will get a bottle of Fiji. And if you could follow me and maybe check in with my live tomorrow, I'll do one of those. Voss is a little hard to find in Canada, but I'll find it. Fiji's all over the place. I will find Fiji. I also upload all of these lives to YouTube. So I am Marie Gardner, nothing fancy, just my name, Marie Gardner, and on YouTube. And it's not my strong suit, but I'm trying to upload all of these videos so you'll be able to look at all the different waters I test. Yeah, I used to drink from the garden hose too, trust me. And honestly, I would drink from the garden hose before I drink from this bottle. At least it's free. Definitely used to do that. So before I get off of here, I'm going to show you guys the pH test. Now, I'm not a big pH. Ooh, I nearly spilled water. Wouldn't be my first time. I'm not a big pH girl. The reason for that is because the integrity of the word pH, not that it's a word, but the pH, anyway, the integrity has been ruined by bottles just like this. So I'm going to explain to you, once I get the top on this thing, why I'm an anti-pH kind of girl. So, pH. It actually stands for the potential of hydrogen. Now, that was the original of the pH. Now, electrodialysis of water has existed for over 100 years. And pH went hand in hand with electrodialysis of water and splitting water and electro-reduced water. Then this came into play. In the 80s, bottled water came into play. Coca-Cola, Perrier, and Pepsi were the beginners of all this bottled water craze. And as it progressed, they realized if they added 5 different salts and baking soda to the ingredients list on water, that they could manipulate the pH reading, and raise the pH. Now, do you think 5 different salts and some sodium bicarbonate actually equivalates to hydrogen? No. Basically, they're just using additives to fool people, which that's why I call these bottles of lies. Anything in a bottle, especially a plastic bottle, is a bottle of lies. Okay, so Kangen is true high pH water because it has extra hydrogen ion. My favorite water is this one. I don't leave home without it, and I make everybody in my life drink it. So I'm a little water obsessed, but my favorite water is ERW, electro-reduced water. My other favorite water would be this one because it makes a great point that people shouldn't drink this. It's not an antioxidant, and I don't know if you'll see it, but way down here and the tiniest print that you can possibly get on this bottle, do you know what that says? I know you guys probably can't see it. It says caution, not intended for children. And it is literally the smallest letters on this bottle. So this bottle is not safe for children. It's not intended for children, and children should not drink this bottle. Do you think you should? Right? Imagine drinking 8 of these every day. Maybe not 8, you probably start peeing the bed, but how about 4? Imagine drinking 4. Now what this ingredients list can actually do with all the different salts and the sodium bicarbonate and stuff, this can actually negatively affect your blood's pH. So if you drink sodium, like baking soda, in all of your water because you think it's raising the pH, what it's actually capable of doing is negatively affecting your blood pH. So you shouldn't do that. And that's why it's not safe for children, is because 1 liter of water, which is what this is, into a tiny person would negatively affect their pH of their body. Now imagine you're a regular sized human and you drink 4 of these. Doesn't sound like a good plan, does it? So this is my arch nemesis, Smart Water, which is pretty funny because I used to drink it. Okay, very quickly, and then I'll get off of here. This is our pH scale. This is acidic. This is high alkaline. The science is still out on acidity, but we all are familiar with acidosis, which means that you can be too acidic. Now, if all you drink is 7-Up and bottled water and coffee, then you run the risk of going into acidosis, which means that your blood pH, instead of a 7.36, which is a very delicate balance, slips down into a 7.35. Not a big shift, just one little 0.01% or whatever it is. It slips down, and that is acidosis. And that's when a lot of people get very, very sick. Now, with this ingredients list, you can actually take your blood pH. This is the same ingredients list in any fake alkaline water. Essentia, all the different ones that are trying to sell you water in a bottle, especially if they say that it's alkaline, this is the same ingredients list. The USA does not get the warning on the back of it that Canadians get. I don't know. Happy Independence Day. Maybe your kids are small or stronger. I don't know. But this is fake alkaline water. It can negatively affect your blood pH. So remember that 7.36? You drink enough of this, 7.37. Very tiny shift in the pH, very large shift in your overall health and wellness. So that's why there is a caution not intended for children on the back of this bottle, because you can raise your blood's pH with it. And it definitely, after we looked at the ERW or the ORP, it doesn't have any benefits. The only thing it has is microplastic, chemicals, and a whole lot of additives. So let's have a look at the drops. You can see it, yeah. There's a few drops in there, a few drops in there. Now you can really see a visual, the difference of these 2 waters. Oh, I need 3 arms. Okay. So we have this one, which is kind of like a yellow, maybe a little green. I'll put it back down here actually. Maybe a little green, but pretty yellow, meaning that it is very acidic. It's not the end of the world to drink something acidic unless you're always drinking something acidic, because your body works very hard to balance that pH. And it's generally, unless you're slipping into alkalosis or acidosis, it's generally going to balance your pH no matter what you drink. The problem is when you drink this, your body works twice as hard to balance that pH. And maybe it takes a lot of energy. Maybe that's why we're tired. Maybe that's why we're anxious and we're depressed, is because our body is putting all this energy into balancing our pH because of these poison bottles of water. Now, when you get into Kangen, let's put a little bit more so it really turns color there. You can see the nice purple, right? So going back into this. Now, this water is a truly high alkaline water because the only thing we've added to this water is electricity. We zap the tap. And I can zap your tap. I can zap everyone's tap. You just zap your tap water, add electricity, and you end up with truly alkaline water. But even better, you end up with water that's anti-aging, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. This water, when we go back to the original, anti, right? Thank you so much, man. If I say this is anti-inflammatory, what's this? Inflammatory. If I say this is antioxidant, we just learned, what's this? Oxidant. This is anti-aging. What does this do? You're right. It ages you faster. So we have a choice to make. We can either choose big bad business like Coca-Cola, Nestle, all the other big companies that are telling you lies in order to sell you a $4 bottle of water. Or we can choose smaller businesses, better businesses like this, and I can help you zap your tap. So I'm not seeing any questions here yet, Monica. I think I covered my favorite water there. I'm going to take a note tonight. I'm going out eventually. I've been working all day, but I'm going to go out. I'm going to get Voss and I'm going to get Fiji. So either check back with me here on TikTok or go on over to Marie Gardner. You can usually find me under the hashtag #ZapYourTap or hashtag #StopBottledWater. So anywhere you're looking for me on any of the social medias, that's generally my hashtag so that you can find me. But check out my YouTube. Not super good over there, but I do post all of these videos over there. So if you do want to show somebody the test on Smart Water Antioxidant, I will have that up shortly. Thank you all very much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I realize that maybe you didn't know, and I'm really appreciative of the fact that you are open to learning about water. It's where I started, and look at me now. Okay, bye everybody. Thank you for tuning in.